All right. So, for anybody joining us in the room, online, Business Academy is a partnership between Rio Salado College, and this program is presented by Wells Fargo. So, we're grateful to our sponsors, our partners. I'm about to bring up a guest speaker who spent the amount of time you're in this room today on an airplane just to be here from Washington, D.C. All right. Our final speaker is Daniel Corcoran, Program Manager for Small Business Partnerships and Education with Amazon. And he's here to teach you about how to build a brand and a business with Amazon's various many tools and resources available to small businesses. Let's give it up for Daniel.
Oh, thank you all for being here today. It's much appreciated, and I very much look forward to diving into this ample amount of content that will discuss the various avenues that one could explore to build a business with. But before I do any of that, what I want to first do is ask you a question. And that question is, have you ever heard of the celery test? Maybe, maybe not. The celery test. No. How about Simon Sinek, the TED guy? Yeah, all right, a few people. There we go. So Simon does this brilliant thought experiment that I would like to now run through with you. So the thought experiment goes: say you're at a networking event, such as this, and following all these presentations, you have the opportunity to walk around, introduce yourself to the other business owners in the room. And what you're really trying to do, as you probably are, is figure out what business they're in. You're curious, it intrigues you. So you walk up to one person and they say, and you ask them, excuse me, what business are you in? What's your product? What does that look like for you? And they say, I sell Oreos. People love Oreos. And what they love most about them is the cream in the middle you have to get in the business of Oreos. So, duly noted. Walk around, meet another person, ask them the same. What business are you in? They say extra virgin olive oil. Italians love it. They buy it in bulk. Being Italian, I can confirm and attest to this. And you have to get into extra virgin olive oil because that is the next big boom in the CPG industry. Last person, same thing. What are you in the business of? They say celery. Veganism is on the rise. There's just restaurants that are solely vegan. Celery is the way to go. That's the way to do it if you want to be the next millionaire. So you go to a Costco or a Walmart and you load up your cart with Oreos, extra virgin olive oil, and celery. And when you go to checkout, you look down and you realize your basket is not full of anything. It's other ideas, it's other interests, none of which really piqued yours when you're introducing yourself. But it was because of a whole plethora of different business ideas that you saw other success through other people, thought, you know what, this is what I'm going to do myself. And build a business is quite the contrary to that. Because in today's webinar, not webinar, but maybe webinar for the people watching virtually, but today's presentation, you'll be exposed to a number of different programs. I'm not here to inundate you with, oh, do this and do that and make sure to amplify that. No, more so pique your interest because I'm confident by the end of this presentation, by it concludes, that there will be at least one program, just one program, that piques your interest for one you could take home with you today, learn more about. And that's here what I'm really to do. So let's jump into the agenda. As David mentioned, we're first going to go into building and creating a brand with Amazon. So, all of you product based businesses here, we're going to discuss some of the programs that you can leverage for your own business when you do start selling an Amazon store or if you want to start selling an Amazon store. But then I'm going to conclude with some of the more niche programs. We'll then go into Kindle Direct Publishing and audiobooks and how that looks if you have a story you want to tell, if there's something about you that you want to share with the rest of the world. Then, lastly, we'll go into delivering packages with Amazon. That could be a full time endeavor, or that could be a side time thing that you earn supplemental income through. Either or, I'm confident that one of these is gonna stay with you. And then, lastly, we're capping it off with some additional resources. So, building a brand and creating content. Excuse me. So, brand registry. I was in the back earlier here listening through all these presentations, and I saw that coffee cup. And I really would love to just do a quick illustration of brand registry with it, if you don't mind. Lovely. So I'm just going to take this. So I was looking at this, and I kept looking at the K. And the reason I was doing that is what is the reason why someone could just take this coffee cup and say, you know what, this is Dan's coffee now. I'm going to sell it as Coffee with K. It's unique, it's dynamic. I'm just going to sell it. Well, the reason you can't is because as a trademark, it's properly trademarked. And what a lot, I'm going to now return this to you so you can finish it. It's quite full. Yeah. But the reason why you can't just take things of other people is because they have it properly trademarked. They protect their intellectual property. And that's what brand registry allows Amazon sellers to do, to complimentary, freely protect their intellectual property, i.e., their products in our store, through when they have a trademark. So one thing is a lot of businesses come to us and they say, "What's the first thing I should do when I start selling an Amazon store?" And I always go to them is, are you protecting your intellectual property, your product? And how you do that is to obtain a trademark. Now you can do that through the United States Patent and Trademark Office, but we also understand that not everyone is privy to that and really knows the process. So that's why we have Amazon's IP Accelerator. Amazon's IP Accelerator connects you, small businesses, with US trusted law firms across the country to provide pre negotiated trademark services for your business and for your product. And as mentioned, this is crucial to protecting your intellectual property in our store. We have over thousands and thousands of tech professionals that are always on the go looking out for your intellectual property, making sure there aren't infringements on that. And when there is, and you suspect one, you can easily file a claim and that will be handled. So let's move into creating a brand store. Brand stores are a exclusive feature with Amazon that is offered to all of our brand owners, meaning people who own their product and they have it registered in our store. And what a brand store really does, in essence, is basically provides you the opportunity to bring a virtual storefront to Amazon where you can showcase your entire product catalog. So, say you're building that loyal customer base and they're buying one product from you, but they want to buy more. Where could they go to discover your other products? And that's what brand stores exactly do, is allows you some space, some virtual space to showcase your entire product catalog. Now, you also have the opportunity to bring your personality to it, your brand story, showcase who you are as a brand owner, as a business owner. And that is how you can think of brand stores and how it can be helpful for you. Now, I also move forward to the next slide, which is A plus content. We all understand, I think, the importance of rich visual imagery. In the Google SEO session, it was brought up that you want images, and with images, I think it's implicit that they are clear, high quality, intriguing images, and that's what A plus content allows you to do for your product instead of just doing bulk lines of text. So to explain this and illustrate this visually, what you see on the left is a page, a regular product detail page without A plus content. It's a lot of text. And people with ever more short attention spans probably aren't going to read all of that text unless they're truly curious. But we see conversely on the right is A plus content. And A plus content still allows you to communicate that rich visual, it allows you to communicate through rich visual imagery and still put in lines of text, such as maybe the nutrients or any other pertinent information, but it really attracts the viewer in through that imagery. Now, from A plus content, this is a complementary tool that you can use for your business, but you can choose from over 15 templates, modules that you can upload your own images to. And this enhances your brand store or your product detail page. And we've seen that A plus content can increase sales by up to 20%. I really just turn this over to you. Like, what are you more likely to maybe make a purchase from? And what's more likely to influence that in the direction of clicking that checkout button? Is it lines of text or is it intriguing images that helps you visualize using the product or just gives you pertinent information without everything else on the back end that really is unnecessary? Now, Amazon Live. Amazon Live is interesting because it kind of introduces a new way for people to communicate with their audiences. And Amazon Live is a live stream tool that brand owners and influencers can leverage to showcase their products. So, people who are interested in TikTok or Instagram and like the live stream already, this could be something that you could take advantage of. And it's a complementary kind of feature as well. For me, I have my own social media, and whether you have 500 followers, 5,000, 5, it doesn't exactly matter because past live streams will populate under your product detail page. And we have seen that customers who watch videos on a product are over 3.5 times more likely to purchase that product. You're really buying them in that video. So say you do the live stream, it's a couple views, no worries because it appears under your product detail page. And you may say, like, hey, I'm not really in the live streaming. It's a little awkward for me. I don't really like it. And it's not maybe my generation or just not my interest. Totally fine, because you don't exactly have to be the one live streaming. You can get someone else to do it, a family member, a friend, and whoever else. And what they can do is they can do an unboxing of the product, kind of build some suspense, or they can show the product on display or the functionality of it. All of this helps a potential customer understand the benefit of the product and the utility of it. Now, I want to dive into a little different program now, which is Merch on Demand. It's one of our more niche programs, I like to refer to it as. And how many people here know of Canva? I feel like most people, yeah, most people they use in some capacity, maybe, maybe not, but they know of it. Well, people who have that artistic spirit, that creative spirit in them, they can now, through Merch on Demand, bring that spirit, that creative spirit, and their designs to life through putting their creative artworks on t-shirts, tote bags, mugs, and much more. And then there's a lot of intriguing parts about this program. One is it's made to order, so none of the products are created until they're ordered. That means to you as a business owner that there's no overhead whatsoever for this program. It's also application based, so you apply to it and you're admitted into it. When you're admitted, you can upload your product, your design, I should say, to whatever product you want it to be on, such as a T-shirt, and you fill out the product detail page descriptions and other necessary details, and from there we create a product detail page in our store, and then you in turn earn royalties when it's ordered. So, for example, to help you visualize this, if you sell a graphic tee for $24, which is quite standard, I would say, you earn a royalty of $8.25. And that's at no overhead to you whatsoever. So it's a really intriguing program. If you do have a creative spirit and you want to bring it to life, bring it to other people, or you are a business owner and you just want to showcase your business's brand or just raise brand awareness through apparel, this could be a quite interesting program to you. Now, I like to communicate some key information. We recommend owning the intellectual property of all your content, meaning that no one could, copycat it or infringe upon it. Another thing is all products are eligible for Prime shipping, so people have that trusted shipping experience when they do order a product, and that's just key to know. And lastly, I'll just point out that there's no inventory risk, so there's no overhead going to you as a business owner that you have to dole out a few $100s or a few $1,000s because none of the products are even created until they're ordered. So that's a couple of the benefits of the program, some key information. And lastly, I'll just mention that infringing on another company's intellectual property is prohibited. So you couldn't take the Nike swoosh and be like, oh, that's a nice design. I want to sell that for myself. That would just be, probably just get revoked from the program. So don't recommend. And now we have Amazon Associates. So for the people who have their own website, whether that is somewhere for their business or they have a blog that they talk about and they write about on a consistent basis, this could be right up your alley because it's one of the most largest affiliate programs in the entire world. And through this program, what you're basically doing is you're sharing our most popular and exciting products through link building tools. So in your blog, you could be discussing kitchen appliances. And when you're discussing kitchen appliances, you're talking about your favorites. And then you're also in turn linking those kitchen appliances, that kitchenware, to Amazon store where people can make the purchase and you in turn earn commission. On average, it's about 10%. And I kind of like to illustrate things with examples and visualizations, and this is just one of them. So, for example, if you were talking on like kitchenware and you went to best air fryers of 2024, and imagine this as a blogger just going into this on their own respective website, and they go, "This is the most affordable blogger, the most affordable air fryer I found so far this year," and they link it, provide a live link to it, and someone reads it, they click it, they purchase it, you earn commission on that. Same thing all the way down, and you can do this for any topics really that are pertinent to products in Amazon store and also services too. So it's good to keep that in mind if you are a blogger, you are a publisher, and you have a pretty lively, say, website where you're constantly putting up new content and you're keeping up with it. This could be a good option to explore for you. Now, some of the qualifications here. So you must own your own website and blog. It's kind of a given. You want recently new content too. So it's not just stale from like a year ago or 6 months ago. And you're like, oh, it's really good though. Well, it could be good, but let's get some new material in line. And then lastly, you want a established presence. So that means that there's daily traffic that you can monetize, and it's not just a few people here and there. Now, if you don't have a website, but you are on social media through Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, and you do have a lot of followers and have a large following there, this next program could be right up your alley. Now, through Amazon influencers, you're still recommending Amazon's best products and services, but you're doing it through your own social media pages, such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And you're doing this through customized linking building tools as well. But the key difference here that I like to point out is when you sign up for this program, it's application based as well. So I should say, if you're admitted into the program, you can build your own storefront in Amazon store, meaning that you could put your favorite products, live streams of yourself, and photos, and build out your own separate page where people can check it out and make purchases from. So that's just good to know if you do are into social media, if you do like to post on a consistent basis, Amazon influencers can be a good thing to check out. And we have seen that independent sellers in our store are actually leveraging Amazon influencers to sell their product too. So that is just another option if you like social media, if you do have a TikTok account. We'll do questions at the end just for the sake of how this operates, like the live or the virtual. But yeah, I'll definitely come back to you. Okay, so some qualifications. One, you want to own your own YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram account. So it's yours. Two, you want to have a good amount of followers, but also engagement metrics. Now, honestly, I'm not sure how many people here are really active on these platforms, but if you are building your business and you do have this self component to it where you're putting up stories of yourself, this could be something to think about later down the line. And also, I say that because of the engagement metrics part. Because if you're just building out your page, and that's totally okay, but you want to apply when you have a good amount of engagement. Well, so even if you have like 1,000 followers, look at your engagement metrics. How many people are engaging with your content on a regular basis? So just a little another thought to allow to detonate in your head on how you can maybe leverage this for yourself at some point or another. Now, for anyone who is interested in telling their story to the world, not going through the cumbersome process of going through a publisher, want to get it out there quick and receive competitive royalties, Kindle Direct Publishing is a pretty interesting aspect of this. So, Kindle Direct Publishing allows authors to self publish their work to the world and get to market fast. So authors who go through KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, can get to the market or can get to, I would say, like the Kindle market within 72 hours after hitting that publish button. And it really empowers people who do have a story they want to tell. Maybe you have an interesting career in a certain niche field that you would love to share with the world, or that you definitively know people want to learn more about. Kindle Direct Publishing empowers self publishing authors to do so. Now, people who go through KDP can earn royalties anywhere from 35% to 70%, and that really depends on the price point of your book and also the public domain, like whether you own the contents or not. So that's a key to note. But nonetheless, through KDP as well, that you can publish in over 40 marketplaces and over 40 languages and retain your copyright. So it's always yours. You can take it off Kindle too at any part or point that you would like and share it elsewhere. Now, I will go into international standard book numbers real quick. People ask sometimes whether I need one, whether I don't need one. Well, they're only really necessary for paperbacks and hardcovers. That's just key thing to note. And two, if you're thinking, hey, I'm just going to sell in Kindle's little store and keep it exclusively there, we provide you an ISBN, and that way you don't have to worry about it. But if you have aspirations to take it out of Kindle Store, which you can do at any time you like, then we recommend getting your own ISBN, and that's really just good information to note if you do want to become an author, tell your story, or share a story, whether that's nonfiction, fiction, doesn't really matter, but some good information there nonetheless. So moving forward to Kindle Create. So we've heard numerous times that people are often unsure on how they format their manuscript. So they'll type in say Google Docs or Microsoft Word their entire story, and they'll be typing it. And at some point, you need to consider how this will look for the reader. Like literally, how does this look on paper or virtually? And Kindle Create allows authors to format their transcript through different modules. So you can pick from a number of modules in Kindle Create to that makes the reading experience best for what your story is telling. And on the next slide, you'll see more of this. So this how it helps with typesetting. This helps if you have images you want to include, and much more there. And it's a free desktop application too, so there's no cost to it whatsoever. So as I said, you can see whether you have a reflowable that's a kind of model that's really for like novels and essays. You can check from different modules and templates there. If you have comics, there's specific templates for that. And if you have print replicas for like cookbooks and things of that sort, then there's also some modules there too. Because you can have the best story. That's not the most crazy thing to consider. But how it looks to the reader matters just as much as the content. So Kindle Create helps you kind of format it in a clean, appeasing format. So some best practices about obtaining the bestsellers rank through Kindle Direct Publishing. One is the categories. Some people kind of get confused with categories, and I'll use this example on the screen real fast. So if you had a werewolf romance book, which I'm sure you guys all do, you guys all just have the idea in your head that you want to talk about on werewolves and romance. But the point being is how you categorize it is important because if you were to do nature, werewolves, and what's the one that says and animals, that's way off from what the book actually is. The book would be categorized as romance and then fantasy. Two different things. So just understanding the categories and how that makes sense is pretty important here. And then focusing on the subcategories too. Because if you had a United States 19th century history book, pretty different there, you would want to categorize it as history, United States, 19th century in terms of the categories and subcategories. And that way it shows up in terms of general history, United States history, and 19th century history. So it's just offering an opportunity for where your book can pop up more of. And then I'm not going to belabor the points of keywords, but just some best practices here. You don't need to include punctuations. You don't need to include any temporary subjective words such as the best or the hottest. Just avoid that altogether. You get 7 keywords to leverage, and they have a limit of 50 characters. And all this is available too on KDP's site as well. So if you don't like capture it now, it's no big deal. And then Author Central. Author Central is one of the most powerful marketing tools that authors can leverage for themselves. And this is because, well, let me ask you, where do you find a homepage for an author? There's no intuitive place exactly, unless they have their own website, which is good for them. But there's no intuitive place, especially in the Kindle store. It's like, all right, I click this book, I read it, but where can I find out more about this person? And Author Central allows authors both in KDP and everywhere else to use this. And through Author Central, people can upload their entire catalog of books all to one place, and people can follow you there. meaning that these same readers that read your first and second book will be notified on your third, fourth, and fifth. And it's a completely complimentary tool that you can use too. There's absolutely no price point to this at all. And with this, you can upload your biography, so where you come from, if you're kind of like the industry you came from that relates to the storytelling, if that's relevant. But you can also upload photos and all your books, and also recommended books too. Because if you just have your one first book out, your second book out, third, but it's gonna be a while to like the fourth, fifth, and all, then you can also recommend your readers to other books, and people can check that out as well. So you're also able to give back to your followers too. So let's move this forward to audiobooks. So as much as I've talked and spoke about books, I don't read books. I like to listen to books. And ACX allows people, authors, to get their book in audio format. And this becomes available on Amazon, iTunes, and elsewhere, and Audible, of course. And you can narrate your own book, which is what I personally prefer the author to do. But you can also outsource it too. And this way, it's just creating more discovery for your book. And audiobooks, I think, are more digestible because you can do it while driving the car, where you can't reading, and on a walk. So it's just about expansion. Now, selling a physical book in Amazon store, whether you have a rare collectibles or a number of rare collectibles you want to offshoot, or you have a literal business of selling books, both are great opportunities to sell books in Amazon store nonetheless. And through this, you can sell new books, if you have author's approval to do so, or as I mentioned, resell old books. And when you resell old books, there will be rare collectibles that you have from a family member that they gave you as near and dear, but now they're just taking up space, and they might be worth a nice penny. You can sell those and make a nice say profit off it for yourself as a little like side gig or side business. And best practices for selling books in our store. One is you want to check out what categories are currently selling popular online right now. And that can be really indicative of just the market overall. Because you see something that is fantasy and that's big at the moment, then you can look out specifically for fantasy books. And if you do have a full-time role but you are looking for like supplemental income, this could be something that you do more regularly. You could go to like garage sales or yard sales and just check it out. It's really to each their own, but it's just an idea nonetheless. And another thing is you could check out Amazon's bestseller rank, because Amazon's bestseller rank indicates it's like 1 to like 1,000, and the number one bestseller will be selling hundreds of books a day, where the 1,000ths, I don't know if I said that correctly, but nonetheless, could only sell like a few every couple months. So it's good to keep that in mind as well, and you always want to be straightforward about the condition of the book. So now we'll go into delivering packages with Amazon. So people who love leading and building teams, you have a passion for that, you have a history of that, and you want to kind of have your own business. Well, Amazon Delivery Service Partner allows people to do just that. Because through this program, you can have your own owner operated delivery business where you are basically running the floor of a fleet of vans and associates and drivers who are delivering packages with Amazon in your local community. And some of the biggest appeals about this program are one, you can get started with as little as $10,000 down. And sorry, I'm just going to be and when I first found out about this program, I was like, $10,000 is kind of a lot, just like to throw down. But when I looked at other similar programs and like other companies, and I see like 65,000 for their own, say, franchise business, I'm like, oh, well, that's quite different. And then also logistics experience that is not required, because you can use Amazon's tools, programs, and more than 20 years of logistics experience to get this kickstart as well. And we have seen that our DSP owners, once they're fully ramped, meaning that they are operating anywhere from 20 to 40 vans in their fleet, earn anywhere from $75,000 to $300,000 in annual profit. And anecdotally speaking, as well, people I've encountered at different conferences who've done this program have earned much more than that. They're just anecdotally. I've people just came up to me when presenting on this who are also DSP partners. So Oh, did I skip one? Oh, no, I did. So with this program, Hub Delivery, if you have a physical storefront, such as a coffee shop or a florist or a hair salon, then this could be a good program for you to earn supplemental income through. Because with this program, Amazon will deliver anywhere from 20 to 50 packages to you daily, and you can use your already existing resources to deliver those packages in your local community. And what I liked about this program is that it's supposed to be a turnkey operation. You're not supposed to invest into like delivery vans or more staff. You're supposed to already have that. So if you do have that kind of business, or you even know someone with that kind of business, you can recommend it to them and earn like a referral, I believe. Yeah, earn a referral on it. But the turnkey operation point of this is quite interesting because if you are that business owner and there's slow points in your day, like a couple hours where no one's making orders and you're not driving around or your delivery person is not driving around, then you could do that during your empty hours and just earn supplemental income on it. And we have seen you can earn up to 27,000 per year. And once more, this is not like a full-time endeavor, just more so a turnkey operation to supplement your current business income. And if this isn't you, like I said, you can also refer someone and earn a referral fee on that. So Oh, now Amazon Flex. Real quick, Amazon Flex is earn supplemental income through. And I would say the biggest thing about this program too is you can be your own boss. You can set up or sign up, excuse me, for your own time blocks, listen to your own music, and compared to, rideshare app where you're actually driving people, you don't have to worry about anyone throwing up in your car. So that's kind of nice. It's just packages, you and music or a podcast. And it's we have seen our DSP or not DSP, our Flex partners earn anywhere from $18 to $25 on average. And as mentioned, you sign up for blocks that work for you and your schedule. It's just a program to earn supplemental income through. So, oops. Now I'd like to share a few additional resources with you. One is Seller University. So, for the people here who do have a product based business or just want to learn more about selling in Amazon store specifically, such as fulfillment by Amazon or A plus content or brand registry, all these little topics I touched on today, Seller University is a educational resource that goes deep into all these specific topics and gives you much more thorough, in-depth information on them. For our sellers who are currently selling in our store, you can access that through Seller Central, but you can also access a free version, which is comparable on YouTube, where you can see webinars, record webinars, and other shorter videos like 5-minute videos that just go deep into a specific topic. And then seller forums for people who are interested in selling up to be a selling partner can also be a quite interesting resource for you. We can connect with other selling partners, and it's really meant just to be a community space. So both of those I would recommend. Really, Seller University too, if you want to learn more about selling an Amazon store and are interested in that topic matter. Same thing for KDP University and Community. KDP University will touch on a lot of what I mentioned today, but even more so, it provides step by step guides on how to get started. And you can also keep up with new updates as well with KDP Community and connect with other authors too. So, great two resources there for people who want to learn more about Kindle Direct Publishing and if that may be a viable route for you. Now, Small Business Academy. Small Business Academy, different from Seller University, is really a free academy for anyone who wants to start a business, but they don't really know where to get started, what they need, such as access to capital, or how their fulfillment would look like, or protecting their intellectual property once more. And through this academy that you can sign up for at any point, you can access on demand webinars or live webinars where you can ask your questions to subject matter experts as well. And as mentioned, it also provides tracks too. So you'll answer like a quick questionnaire and it will recommend you courses that are relevant to you at your current business life cycle. Right, and then like to highlight some of our partners. We cannot do any of this great programming and can't provide any information whatsoever without partners. Some of which are listed on the screen, but also obviously Tempe Chamber of Commerce that we have now been working with, and so on. So it's really an honor to be here today. I really appreciate all your guys' time.